Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading for a national security election. We're seeing it loud and clear now, aren't we? The Morrison government will focus on pandemic security, keeping COVID-19 out of the country, hence its overreaction this week, blocking Australians in India from coming home for at least the next couple of weeks. And as we're now seeing also, there will be a focus on the possibility of military conflict in our region, especially involving China across the Taiwan Straits. China has been belligerent in its diplomacy and it's targeted our nation with trade sanctions in retaliation for us just talking common sense. And its awesome build-up of military strength continues, with firepower added not only to its army, air force and navy, but also through its fortification of small islands in the South China Sea in contravention of international law. New Defence Minister Peter Dutton has been speaking robustly on these issues, and the strong words of Mike Pizzullo, the head of the Home Affairs Department, talking about the drumbeats of war sounding out, made the front page not only of the Australian newspaper yesterday, but also of the Times of London on the other side of the world today. Now, the Morrison government has a good record, of course, on both of these issues. It has the runs on the board, and there's no doubt it has a strong case to make about being the best party to both manage the pandemic and our strategic security interests in the years to come. But let's hope they don't overdo the rhetoric with China, and let's hope too that Australians in India don't pay a price, being blocked from returning through quarantine to their own country because the government has become more focused on a clean slate than on doing what's best for its citizens. No doubt in a political sense, the government will hope that Labor falls for the sucker punch and opposes its strong approaches. The government would love it, for instance, if Labor opposed its block on India returns, the way I've opposed them over the past couple of days. But Labor too is aware of the politics. It knows what is popular. On China, though, it might be more difficult for Labor. Already, former Labor Foreign Minister Bob Carr is railing against the Morrison government's hairy-chested stance. Carr tweeted that it sounds like the government is itching for a showdown in the Taiwan Strait. He says it should spell out its desired role for Australia, our contribution, and how our ally, the US, will define victory over China, given we haven't been able to beat insurgents in the Afghan foothills. There he goes. There is a strong and sober point there to be made by Carr, but immediately he stoops to diminishing the efforts of our soldiers in Afghanistan, where 41 Australians have died and much has been achieved there, at least until now. Come in, spinner. But that looks high-minded compared to the tweeting of former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd, who's gone for the full conspiracy theory, tweeting about a News Corp and coalition conspiracy, banging on about war, apparently to distract from some unspecified debacle around the vaccine rollout. Oh boy, hope Kevin Rudd's okay. The Prime Minister, for his part, was in Darwin today, as if to emphasise this very point, making another defence announcement, investing in military training facilities.
In our government, we will always do what is necessary to ensure Australia has the capability it needs to protect and defend its interests. That has been our approach. When we came to government in 2013, defence spending as a share of our economy had fallen to pre-Second World War levels. That was a disgrace. It was shameful that we would leave our defence forces in Australia in such a state of lack of support.
Yeah, so there it is, a very clear message. And the election is probably about a year away, could be sooner, of course. But we can see the themes now: the COVID security, border security, standing up to China, national security. And these are coalition strengths. These are Morrison strengths. And these areas also happen to be weaknesses for Labor's socialist left, the factional base of none other than Anthony Albanese. So there are certainly real and present issues here to confront, but there's also political opportunity for the coalition. You can expect to see a fair bit of khaki for a long while to come.